Hello, everybody, and welcome back for part 2 of Nonverbal Communications. In part 1, our hunters learned of a mysterious death in their small town where a ship captain somehow drowned in their living room. In this part, they begin their investigation to determine what type of creature could have done something like that and what they need to do moving forward. Hack Recklessly proudly presents Nonverbal Communications, Part 2.
Hey, my name is Norfolk 911. You can find me on all platforms, including Twitter and Instagram, YouTube, everywhere that you can basically put your face on it. I'm there. So you can find me any day live on stream, Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Purple app. I will be playing the Crooked playbook as Deke Munoz.
Hi there, I am Cujo of Cujo Plays Games on all major social media platforms. I will be playing the Mundane Playbook with Isaac Waller as my character.
Hola, buenas tardes. My name is Jonathan Perez, also known as Latinos Against Spooky Shit. I will be playing the Chosen Playbook, and my character is Mark Fredericks. Feel free to find me on all platforms as Latinos Against Spooky Shit.
And I'm LB Hackemup. I am going to be the keeper of secrets for this game. You can find me at LB Hackemup on the Twitters, the Twitches, and all other platforms. This will be broadcast on Spotify on the Hack Recklessly channel as well as the YouTube channel. So leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave a comment. Love to hear those. You turn onto the harbor, the port road, and make your way to the 10 parking spots that are in this port area. Like I said, a lot of the boats are out fishing at this time, or they have
I don't even bother to park in the area. Just go toward the front and just leave it there, because I have a really good relationship with the cops and they kind of know my car.
True. Why do you have a good relationship with the cops?
So I have a good relationship with the cops because, you know, we clean up each other's messes, you know, so we have a favor for favor type of thing.
Yeah, you also have a move that does this.
Yes.
It's called Friends of the Force. So you know a few cops who could be persuaded to look the other way or do a favor for certain things. So you know that in this town, there are no officers, no cops, yes, but there is a deputized individual, someone who everyone looks up to. The harbor master's name is Luke Gill.
Fish pun.
He is about 6'4", very clean shaven, pronounced jaw, very attractive gentleman in a jean button up, brown fluffy hair that is nicely off to the side. Somehow this man is able to keep his very clean appearance for working on the docks and being the harbor master. He is in his office when you guys arrive, and you see that Jennifer is kind of sitting in front of him, and Luke gives off the aura of being someone that everyone is very comfortable with. And you notice that Jennifer is more openly crying. You can see that there are windows on every side of this room, and the door also has windows on it. So you can kind of see in and see that she is speaking to him, openly weeping, and he's kind of sitting there and nodding, understanding what she's saying, letting her kind of get it out. And he is looking at her, looks up to see you guys, kind of makes a motion to her, presumably say I'll be right back. We can talk about this in just a moment. And he stands and exits the room to see you guys outside. And he says, "Is this important? I've got something going on in here."
Side note, Emmanuel is supposed to be at the harbor.
That's true. He did say he was coming here. You do not see him.
Okay. Because I was going to go talk to him before we went inside.
This matter seems fairly private, so if he was speaking to Luke, he might have stepped away. He might still be in the area.
Got it. You know, since there's no cell phones, I didn't know if I saw him or whatever.
Yeah.
Page him.
I think he's in the area enough that if you wanted to approach him, you could probably find him pretty easily.
Cool. So since I'm the local and so is Isaac, I'm going to go ahead and approach the harbor master and kind of just hey, what's going on? Since we have a pretty nonchalant relationship, kind of just ask him Hey, Luke, what's up, man? I brought some friends, with me, and I wanted to ask you some questions. So, do you got a couple minutes? Like,
I've got a little bit of time. Is it important?
with me, everything's important, but like, I would say most of the times anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't need to tell you. It's just know this. It's been weird. My brother Emmanuel, has he seen you today?
Yes, he was by earlier.
Okay, so I gotta go talk to him later. As he mumbles that under his breath, and just ask him, was there anything he asked you that like you kind of can relay that same information to me, just in case I don't get to see him a little bit later today, because like sometimes we us brothers, right? Like
yeah. Yes, he asked me about the weather. If things were strange, I told him the fog is heavier than usual, but he asked me if there were any other strange occurrences that were happening in the town, as you both like to do. But the only thing, well, he kind of like looks to Isaac, looks to Mark, looks to you, and like gives you are they cool?
I hesitate for a second because like I think about Isaac's wife, and I know he's sensitive to it. I kind of give him like a head nod, like yes, but be careful with what you say, kind of like code, so that Isaac doesn't feel like
Isaac's gonna see this exchange and go, see, you're doing it again. And I constantly, I don't do well with these moments of quiet.
What are you talking about? I'm just
Isaac, you gotta there's a whole unspoken thing you can do with your eyes, but watch.
Okay.
Just look at me. I think he and I are gonna just do like a little eye exercise.
Yeah, he gives you like wide eyes and like a slight head nod to the side. It's just like, you hear what I'm saying? Sort of look.
You get it, right? You get it. I'm gonna do okay. Let's try.
Okay, I'm gonna look to Mark and be like, kind of head nod, wide eyed, like, and he's gonna know what I'm saying.
I mean,
is he?
Luke kind of is just like, I understand that. Look, I'll just give you what I was gonna give you guys, and
Go ahead. They're fine. They're fine. They're
as
fine.
Quickly as possible. Okay. Do you know about what happened to Jolene?
With her cousin.
No, I've been out of town.
Oh, right. We didn't tell you. I'm sorry. That one's on me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been doing this long enough.
I'll let you fill him in on Jolene, but there was another incident that happened earlier.
Another incident? What?
Yes.
So there's been more than one incident. When did this started happening?
Corey Wise, one of the fishermen, went missing on Tuesday. His boat drifted ashore. We just found out from the local harbor master, the island to the south of us. His boat was found. He was on it. He was deceased. They decided to mention that he had a strange and disturbing look on his face. The harbor master had mentioned it looked like he was laughing in death.
Was there an investigation done on the boat?
There didn't seem to be any issues with the boat. It was off when it drifted ashore. Beyond that, I could not tell you.
Sorry to interrupt, where are they keeping his boat impounded?
The boat is going to be towed back this afternoon. His body was brought over yesterday and is being held at, you would know when he says the local morgue, it is a sort of area where they keep and store fish on lots of ice.
Yeah.
Until the proper authorities can come down and collect them.
Yeah, he's in the icebox. Or he can
be identified. Yeah, he's in the icebox.
Has the family been notified? I assume they have.
He didn't have any family in town. They're trying to track down anyone, but he was a local and he was family to the other fishermen. But
how's Captain Frank taking all that?
Frank's been on a bender as of late. I think he reappeared this morning, so it's hard to say.
So he's doing well. Good.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
Has there only been two? Because you said another one, so I'm assuming there's two, or are there more?
I I'm gonna tap you on the shoulder and point to Jennifer that's still inside the office crying and just whisper, her cousin found her in her house, drowned.
And I'm just gonna have a jaw drop moment.
Yeah. No,
He does kind of like touch his magnificent chin as he looks to her and back to you guys and says, if this is something that you think you can handle, speaking specifically to Deke, who he knows handles things like this, then I can speak with Jennifer and assure her that we have someone on the case.
Well, you know me. I jump at the opportunity to handle these situations, but if you like, we can speak to her. I'm assuming Mark and Isaac have a somewhat of a relationship with her, or at least talked to her in the past, that we
She
can
chugged my
reassure
coffee.
ourselves.
I
She
think
chugged your coffee. That's right, she did. I'm sorry, dude.
She stopped by my shop earlier, and I was a little frazzled at the moment. Was she the one to find her cousin?
No, it seems that one of the neighbors was checking in on her. She was going to talk to her about something to do with the lighthouse. You could speak with the neighbor. And if you want to go to the house, and looks very pointedly at Deke, not touch anything while you are there.
I got hands like a... It's fine.
Hands like a what? You have hands like a what? Deke?
Yeah.
You know, I keep my hands in my pockets, all right? Just don't make it weird, guys. Come on.
Please make sure he does.
Yeah, that's fine. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I love helping as much as the next person. I just want to get this over with and go back to a nice, normal, quiet town. So
I'm going to go ahead and ask, when did the fog start appearing in town?
Here, Wednesday night.
But Tuesday you found the body.
It seems that he had been at sea for a little while.
When did this... I mean, as a harbor master, you should have schedules and stuff of like...
The last time he checked out his boat, well, the last time I saw him was Sunday.
So Sunday. Periodically, as a sailor, you would call in your coordinates every so often to the local Coast Guard. So do we have the last time that he checked in besides Sunday?
I do not have those, but I could get them.
Could you get that for us? I think that would be very helpful to find out where this occurrence started happening in the middle of the ocean.
Yes, why don't you do me a favor and roll to manipulate someone to see how willing he is to do this for you. Plus charm, please. A 10! Hey,
That's
yo!
good.
So on a 10 plus, they'll do it for the reason you give them. If you ask too much, they'll do the minimum. But this seems very reasonable. He likes you, for the most part.
Yeah, we're buddies. I give him
Yeah.
pie. Everybody knows
Yeah.
me for pie.
Oh yeah, you know that his favorite is pumpkin, and with like too much whipped cream.
And I make sure like I bring like the red whip can, you know,
yeah.
so that he
Mhm,
has that extra whipped cream for later.
Mhm. Yeah, so he says, I'll get in contact with the Coast Guard and let you know what I find.
Sounds good.
Do you have a radio in your car?
I do have a radio in my car. What channel are you going to be on?
The normal channel, says the keeper.
There's like
I don't
channel
know
2,
radios.
3, 4,
Says
5,
LB.
6. I'm sorry, the military show.
69.
Hey,
Hey,
Nice. Channel 2. I just say channel 2. It's fine. It's a local
Okay.
channel. It's fine.
Um,
All right.
Sorry, just one last question. When did they place time of death for Corey?
As he's asking the question, I'm going to turn around to go to Jennifer.
He gives you kind of a strained look and says, it was undetermined. It must have been sometime between Sunday afternoon when I saw him and when they found him, but the amount of water damage and the manner in which he was found, they could not determine if the rigor mortis was correct.
Listen, Luke. I appreciate you being delicate, but I need you to be a little bit more forward with what it is that you're saying. You're saying that he had been dead longer than if he had been seen on Sunday?
No, I'm saying that he looked to be more decayed. I know he was alive on Sunday. The body decayed faster for being in water, and yet it was still caught in rigor mortis. So it was not, he kind of like glances to everyone, natural.
All right. Thank you for that. Isaac is going to turn to Mark and say, I'm thinking taking a look at Jennifer's cousin's home would be a good place to look. I have my own car. I can go, and I think I have a reasonable enough reason to get in. What you choose to do, whether it's pie or coffee.
Listen, Isaac, love the initiative, truly. Let's take it back a step. Let's not separate the party. You know, I think there's strength in numbers. And all that to say, I'm going to go with you. We'll go together and just do as I say, not as I do, and we should be just fine.
Understood. Should we let Deke know?
Hey, Luke, could you let Deke know?
You're gonna bail? Deke?
We'll be back. Like, it's a small town. The house isn't far. We're going to go check it out. Let Deke know that we're going to meet him at, what's-his-face's boat? Corey.
Yes. I will say that, is there anything that you want to get out of the conversation with Jennifer, Deke?
Yes, I want to know more because the guys didn't tell me anything.
Oh, that's fair. Do we want to do a scene where you speak to her, or do you want to just get the
No, we could.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll move it along for the sake of time.
Because
Move it
she,
along.
as far as you guys, as she told Isaac, she knows what she was told. She was able to see the body, but
Right.
she wasn't there when it happened. She is only like, they can, everything that they know, you now know,
Right.
basically.
Yeah, and then like I try to comfort her, let her know that I'm on the case, and that and I, as I'm saying this, I don't know the guys left, so as I'm talking to her, I kind of turn around and be like, yeah, the guys are gonna be a part of it, and like I'm turning around and like they're gone.
I think you
like,
managed to catch us just as we're closing the door behind us to leave.
and I'm just like, yeah, we're on it, don't worry, just like confidence.
Yeah, right now they're on her. Yeah, right. they're
just like
on.
I told them they need to go check something out, so they're leaving right away. They got great initiative. I also take out a little pendant that like I take pendants with me everywhere, and I give her a pendant to like protect her in case, but she doesn't know what it's for. I'm just like, it's like a good luck charm, kind of helped me get through things, but it like I've enchanted it with like protection to help.
You do notice that she's very receptive to you in general, and you have noticed, you've lived here your whole life, you've known her your whole life, she probably has a crush on you, or has had since like high school sort of thing. Like, you're the cool guy in town, like the one who blows in and out, and she kind of takes it and like gives a thank you. I appreciate that, Deke.
Yeah, well, he kind of just like, coffee later. Well, we'll talk about it. I'll come check up on you. I know where you live. You know where I live. Whatnot. And I kind of just leave. But what I want to do now as I'm leaving is like, I watched Mark and Isaac kind of go off in the distance. I want to look for my brother.
Okay.
So I want to do that. And then I want to talk to him to head over to check out the body.
Okay. All right. We are splitting the party. Let's go. Let's get back into things, and we will move back to Mark and Isaac. Get into Isaac's car. What kind of car is Isaac driving?
Something kind of basic, nothing fancy by any means.
A Honda
Pinto.
It has a tape deck. That's like the biggest thing about this car.
Yeah. Cool. It's a Saturn Ion.
Yep.
1990. Let's go. You make your way through the town. You were told that the neighbor is the one who found the body of Jolene, and the neighbor's name is Reese Cooper. She lives next door. But you guys make your way to Jolene's house. It is a smaller, sort of very colonial style, 2-bed, 1-bath, very affordable for this time. She's a ship captain and can own her house, and it's paid for. Good for her.
Good for her.
Mhm. There is no tape. There is no police presence here. It's been a few days since they found her, and it was ruled as an accident, so there's no follow-up going on. The house is sort of located a little bit a ways from other people. This part of the island is very residential, but there are trees, there's space between. The houses are not like stacked on top of each other. So when you pull up, you're able to pull into the driveway and make your way up to the front porch. The door is not unlocked, but this is a small town. The back door is. So if you'd like to make your way in through the back door, what exactly are you looking for here?
I'm looking at the mechanics.
Yes, so there is quite a few things that can be done. You can investigate a mystery. You could use magic to see what happened here or what is going on. I think that as far as what Isaac would do, if you're looking for something specific, you can roll to investigate a mystery, or if you just kind of want to get your bearings, look around, that is something as well. Mark, you know that there are more magical ways to find out what happened here. So it's really how you guys want to go about, or if you want to tell me like what specific information you're looking for, we can kind of move around it that way.
I'm gonna roll to investigate a mystery.
What a loser.
I know. I had an idea for something else, but that is 11.
On a plus sharp, that's 11. Okay, so on a 10 plus, you hold 2, which means you can ask 2 questions from the list, or you can make up something specific if you'd like.
I would like to ask, what is being concealed here?
Perfect. Okay. What is being concealed here? You walk into the back of this home. There is a open floor plan kitchen, a half wall that leads into the living dining room space. It's all wood floors, which is a terrible idea for a coastal house, but here we are. And you see the tile in the kitchen sort of like cuts off, and you walk into the living room. Isaac, you get a very distinct feel when you walk into this room. You have known death, you have seen death, you get the presence of death in this room. And as you sort of look around, you're seeing that the table has been pushed off to the side. The table that would be in front of the couch, and beyond that, the TV. It has been pushed. You can see on the ground there is scrapings as the table was moved very harshly and suddenly. And on the ground, you kind of bend down to take a closer look, and you notice there is a distinct white, powdery sort of substance that has been congealed on this wooden floor. You very quickly recognize this as salt. So it's leaving behind this pattern that you would see if salt water had fallen and dried in a space. You also notice, as you are sort of looking around, you move the carpet slightly to get a better sense of where this white outline is, and you notice that there are 2 strands of what looks to be blonde hair. And as you begin to pull them out to get a better look at them, you know that Jolene had dark curly hair, so this seems a little bit out of place. She lived by herself, doesn't seem to be your roommates. As you're pulling it out, you continue to pull it out of this carpet. It is very long and very pale, and as you kind of get to your arm's full length and it is still under the carpet, you look at the hair in your hand and you notice as it's catching the light, it's almost a little green upon closer inspection.
Okay. That is disgusting.
That you can also tell that this white substance, this salt that has been left behind, it is covering almost the entire floor. It's concentrated in this middle spot, but you see specks of it sort of everywhere, as if water had been left behind all over this floor.
Okay. Looking at this long, and I'm basically like looking to Mark as well, like, did I find a thing?
I've seen this before.
That's really gross. Where have you seen this before?
Can't remember. Probably a book somewhere. I'm going to keep looking around.
And for my second question,
Okay.
if I may, I would like to ask, what sort of creature is it?
Ooh, good question. There is long humanoid hair that you found that not only is it long, it is ridiculously long. It is unnatural to the point that it is blonde and green as you look at it. close or far away. The amount of water that was in here was brought by this creature. For someone to have a bucket full of water and spill it on here, for them to have drowned her as in a situation that they'd cover her in something or submerge her in something, it seems to be that the water was brought here, I want to say in a natural way, in that there is no mechanics or anything. This creature has some sort of control over salt water, you can assume from this. You also can assume that it might be humanoid from it having human hair. And this creature killed in her home. She found this person specifically, who has not lived by the coast, and it seems to be that there was a purpose to this kill specifically. It's in this person's home. It's not a random person on the street. It's not a person on their boat. This seems to be a very specific kill.
Targeted.
So, yeah, it's very targeted. So it could be that this creature has an agenda of some kind. So therefore, it probably has intelligence beyond a monster or a beast that kills randomly.
Cool. I'm just going to relay that information over to Mark.
Mark's come out of the kitchen, apple in hand.
What? Did you? No, we're not supposed to touch anything. You're eating evidence. Well, not evidence, but you know what I mean.
It's fine. What? She's not gonna eat it.
This is nice. How nice.
All right. So you found some stuff.
Yes.
Love that.
Thick layer of salt on the floor.
So it's not a slug.
No, it wouldn't be a slug. If it's intelligent and it has long humanoid-looking hair, not saying that they exist or anything, because that would be ridiculous, but something with connection to seawater with long humanoid hair makes me think of a mermaid, maybe.
Probably. I want to try to detect any trace elements of like a magical presence, because everything's got like an innate aura. I would feel like if they're some sort of magical realm.
Do you have a move that could do this, or are you going to do this with magic?
I'm going to do that with magic and do weird.
All right. So use magic. We are going to try to... You could observe it at a place or time, or you could do one thing that is beyond human limitations. That would be to sort of like sense the aura of what's going on around here.
Yeah. We're just going to cast some cool magic right now.
Okay. Well, it's weird magic.
Yeah, it's weird magic. I think I'm going to throw the core away, wipe my hands off on my pants and my shirt. It's a little sticky, but okay. All right. And then I'm just going to kind of clap my hands and be like, all right, Isaac, I'm sorry. I don't really do this. And then I'm just going to try to like create a lens, like somebody who's doing photography, F-A-U-X, and just kind of create a magical lens that I can see through to see if I can pick anything up.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll plus weird, please.
Mark's like, I don't typically do this scenario. Isaac is going to interpret that as something fucky is going to happen, so he's just going to fully turn around to protect his delicate mental stability and just let whatever happen.
Okay.
That is a 10.
Okay. The magic works without issue. All right, sounds good. So you make this rectangle with your hand and view the room. You see a slight shimmer as you make this symbol. The magic goes off. Does your magic look like anything particular?
It doesn't. It doesn't have a particular shape or stance. It just varies on what he's doing. Because again, I think he himself doesn't really understand his own prophecy. He left his household before he really knew what that prophecy meant.
Yeah.
So his magic takes different appearances at all given times. When he's looking through it, it kind of looks like, you know, that shimmer you get when you're blowing bubbles and you've got that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what it looks like in his hands.
You hear a high pitched as it activates.
Like
night vision goggles turn on.
Yeah.
You start to look around. On the walls, there doesn't seem to be anything magical in nature. This seems very clearly a mundane person's home. But as you start to look at the floor, you start where the body was, where this concentration of salt is. And you see sort of a shimmer and wave as there almost looks to be a mound of something left behind. You're seeing the reflection of what had been here. There seems to be a moving, sort of almost like a bubble that has been on the floor here over this body. And as it dissipates in your vision, as you are kind of seeing what's happened, your hands follow this trail and you see very distinct footsteps as if they are stepping in water. And they are going from this body into the kitchen and out the back door. And as you kind of take your hands and move closer to these footprints, you realize that they are very humanoid. They seem to be human footprints as they are stepping, and the water around it is making a ripple as it walks through. And you can see that the water is following these feet as it goes out. It is going with these footsteps.
And they don't look like shoe prints, like just bare footprints.
Bare feet. Mm-hmm. The human feet, but...
I mentioned to Isaac what I see, and I also kind of awkwardly try to move my hands over so he can lens through. And
Isaac is like up with the ceiling, like, oh, that's very interesting that you can see that.
Yeah, no, but you got to look down, Isaac, down. Through the
I
fingers.
don't think
Come on.
Okay. Isaac is going to steel himself and then look down through the lens.
I see. Okay, follow the trail. And
okay.
You get it now, right? Yeah, I've never done this one before. This is a cool one.
You've never done this, but that's confidence.
No, I've used magic, but I've never done this with my fingers.
Please don't say the M word, okay? As far as I'm concerned, I'm currently going through a psychotic break, so I'm just going to lean into it.
I didn't even say the word moist. I'm sorry. What word were you talking about?
Okay, you didn't. You used the other M word, magic. We're gonna.
Sorry, arcane art, whatever. Fucking.
Oh, good God!
You're one of those purists. Come on, let's see where these lead.
Purists? I read and I'm gonna just for books.
I'm just gonna walk and follow the trail to see where they lead outside.
Okay, let's switch back and see what Deke is up to with his brother. You make your way while you are at the harbor master's office building, and you kind of like look around and see your brother is talking to one of the ship hands that is on the dock slinging fish, doing the very Law and Order thing where like they're talking to cops but they don't stop what they're doing because they're busy people, and for some reason they can't stop and talk to cops. It's fine. He like says thank you and kind of turns back and sees you, gives you a wave and heads over your way.
I kind of give him a hand gesture that he kind of knows, brotherly love. I'm just like, hey, and I walk over to him, and he carries himself already very stoically anyways, so he kind of walks over to Emmanuel and says, what's up, says, how you doing? Hey. Kind of fills him in between all of the stuff that he's found out, and he then remembers he paid for an almanac that he never really needed. Mm-hmm. So. But yeah, that's what's happened so far.
Wow, that's really rough, man. She was in my class. It's hard to hear.
Yeah. She's been through a lot, man. She's been through a lot. But importantly, you're not crazy, it seems like.
Good and bad, yeah.
Yeah. My bad. I mean, look, it's been a long couple hunts. Yeah. And I was hoping for a break, so sorry I gave you a hard time earlier, but looks like that we're not getting a break this time either. So what have you found out?
Well, from what I can tell, with all of these sailors that I've talked to, the two that are in port right now, it looks like the fog that came up from the south seemed to be a little bit more treacherous. One sailor mentioned laughter on the waves, but beyond that,
ain't funny business,
No. So I guess we can roll out a siren. There's no song, so.
Yeah, there's no song, so at least we don't have to wear earmuffs. So check this out. This is something that I found interesting. There's a body that we should go check out. Mm-hmm. She's in the icebox right now. She drowned on land.
Oh, that is interesting.
Or at least that's what they keep saying. So I know you read a lot and you're really good at, morgue stuff. You know what I'm talking about. Like, it's just.
Drown on
I
land.
think we
that
should-
sounds familiar. It could be a couple different things. But if it's a monster, where did she drown?
You know, that was a question that I forgot to ask. But I will say that she was on land somewhere.
Okay.
So it's somewhere in town.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can look into that more.
I think we should go check it out now.
You want to check?
Yeah, the body. And there was these two guys. Did you see these two guys? They left me. They're like, they were with me and then they left and I don't know where they went.
I'm gonna reserve anything I have to say about that, but I'm sorry.
Wow. All right. Okay. All right. It's fine. You're gonna be like that, huh? You want to be a dick? All right.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, if you want to check out a body, let's check out a body.
Let's go fucking see this body now. All right. Like,
Yeah.
asshole. As I slap him in the head.
Yeah, you guys. There is a large storage space that is at the end of the docks area. This is where everyone stores their stuff. Everyone has their own lock boxes in here. It's dug out into the ground so that it's cooler. It is kept cold. There's a lot of ice in here. And you know that there is a lock combination to the area where they would keep something that would need to be kept away from the general public. You do
Right.
know this key because you are friends with Luke and you have probably looked at bodies here before.
Yes.
you walk
not
into
our
this
first
giant-
rodeo.
Yeah, you walk into this giant warehouse and it is biting it is cool outside. It is not quite this cold. The immense smell of just fish
Sushi?
cripples you as
Anyone?
you walk through. It's not that smell, it is worse. You walk back to the area that is cordoned off. It's a larger room that is kept locked. You punch in the key, and as you open the door, you see that there are 3 large ice chests, basically large freezers
Right.
that are in here. There is only one that is closed. The other 2 are open. You would know that the body of Jolene is
Mhm.
with her family as she is getting a funeral in a couple days, so
Right,
it is
right.
with the mortician. But you do know that the body that you came here to see is Corey Wise, the fisherman, the older gentleman who is presumably in the closed ice bin.
I want to sense magic. I want to sense like something
Yeah.
mystical in the air. I want to see if like I can sense it before I open up the chest, like in case
Yeah.
something's been rigged, type of thing.
You know that Luke is not a magical sort. You know that he knows that supernatural things are bound, but he would never say it outright.
So backstory, I would have taught Luke
Oh.
that if anything looks suspicious,
Mm-hmm.
that he were to put it like some type of charm on these boxes
Yeah.
to keep anything from coming back alive.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
I'm trying to sense to see if there's anything in this box that he's put in that might feel off before I open it.
Yeah, you see he has wrapped a charm that you've given him around the latch to it, which you know that this would contain anything that was undead or supernatural in nature. So if it was to come back to life, it could not get out of this case. It doesn't seem
Right.
that anything has been tampered with in
Okay,
that
okay.
regards, and you would know how to safely remove it very easily. So
So-
it's everything seems like you told him to leave it, basically.
I'm gonna reach for my back pocket, which I have sheathed a knife, so a
Mhm.
basic knife. So I'm gonna have my hand placed on it as I'm
Sure.
opening this case,
Mm-hmm.
just in case anything wanted to like surprise us. We go ahead and open the case, and I want Emmanuel to kind of look over the body.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have you investigate a mystery on this one. Yes, roll plus sharp, please. I'll give you a +1 because you are
Not very sharp.
Well, you're doing it with Emmanuel, and he is.
Ooh, that's 11, baby.
All right, you get to hold 2. So if you look at the investigate a mystery, you can ask 2 questions from in here. But while you do that, I am going to describe what you see as you open this chest.
Okay.
It's a white, large freezer that people keep in their basements. This is an industrial size one, so it's probably about 8 feet long by 3 feet wide. And as you open it, there is no scent that catches your nose. There is nothing immensely decaying about this body. It is being preserved. But as the light from this room sort of hits this corpse in here, you can see this being, or this human, is His hands are sort of tight to his sides. They are clenched in a tight fist. His body is contorted where he is bending sort of to one side. His legs pulled up as he is wrenching. And you can see on his face, his mouth is in a large smile as if he is laughing, but his eyes are in an immense amount of pain.
Now, from our history being hunters,
Mm-hmm.
would we know and I have a generic idea of what we might be dealing with? Not necessarily know exactly what it is, but
Mhm.
have a generic idea of like what type of monster this might be just by looking at a dead body like this.
Would you like to use one of your questions?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
So that is one of the questions.
You get to hold two of them. So you can ask anything from this list or if you have something more specific.
What type of creature is that?
So you are looking at this body, and as you get a closer look to it, you see on its sides, on this side of this person, is rips in their clothing.
Mhm.
And you kind of look closer at it. You see there are claw marks. Very shallow, but many claw marks on both sides going directly up into the armpits and slightly on the underside of their arm. And you can see that whatever was doing this to him was very clearly going for his sides. And this sort of reminds you, being a brother, of someone tickling you. Someone, and when you are defending from that, you pull your arms in close and you are contorting your body to get away from this. But you see these claw marks in the side of this dead body, and you can tell that they are nailed. They don't seem to be claws. They are torn, not straight cuts. So,
Okay. So it's
you are
ripping
getting
through it.
Yes, but they aren't super deep. Like they are like if somebody was to go on your chest and claw down, it
Kind of
seems
like
to
a
be
cat scratch almost. Well, deeper,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yes, but not quite as fine. It does
Right.
seem to be a humanoid sort of nails going
Mhm.
into the skin, but they aren't super deep. They are surface wounds. They have just ripped through the sides of the clothing.
Now, what could hurt it?
What can hurt it? Okay, good question. This creature, well, from what you know, I will say you might need to get with the others to get more information, because so far you know specifically that it is this creature has human hands. It presumably has tickled this person to death, and it was out on the water, so it is some sort of aquatic being. You know from experience that aquatic beings this would be a magical being in the sense that it probably cannot be harmed by most mundane things. You know that
Right.
Fae can be harmed by iron. Magic hurts most things. So if you have a magical
Right.
weapon or something like that, you can guess that if this creature is killing people by literally tickling it, if you remove the hands, that's probably something that is going to help you in this.
Right,
But if
right.
you want to expand on this question more with everyone else.
Right. Yeah. I will say that I look to Emmanuel and kind of give him the concerned look, like we're back
Yeah.
at it again, kind of thing.
Yeah,
He kind of
he-
knows like it's time for business. So, I let Emmanuel know, looks like this isn't a laughing matter.
Heavy sigh from Emmanuel. Emmanuel says, Deke, look,
Look,
this
man, I
sounds
couldn't help
familiar.
it. He's laughing. What?
He's
Look,
dead.
But we deal with heavy shit every day. Come on, man. Like, give me a break. So, anyways, doesn't matter. We got shit to do now. We gotta figure out what we have to do. But like, there was these two guys, and you said you saw where they went, or at least know where they went. I think it's
Yeah.
smart that we go take a look at them, because one of the guys that you saw is Mark, and you remember Mark, right?
Yeah, I know, Mark.
Yeah, we need to go take a look at him, because there was some funky stuff that happened in the bookstore earlier, and I'll tell you on the way. It's fine. Let's grab our equipment that's in the back of the trunk, and I think we need to grab our things and get our protection, and probably grab some other stuff if we're going to involve the other two, because they're investigating this as well, and I think it'll be smart if we grab some extra equipment.
Okay, I walked here. It took me literally 10 minutes. So why don't you go meet up with your friends? I will go back to the house.
I wouldn't say they're friends yet, but they're definitely acquaintances. I want some pie later,
You need friends, Deke.
Friends are overrated sometimes. Look, sometimes, wait, what am I explaining myself to you? And he just smacks him in the head again. It's just like...
Okay. Look, go find out what they found out. And I'm going to go back to the house. I'm going to see if I can... This is really ringing a bell for me. I'm going to see what I can find in the books.
So, I'm going to go... They went to the house, so I guess I'll head over to the house now. You go do your thing. I'll meet you back here, let's say, 1700 hours?
Okay.
So...
All right. Have fun with your friends.
All right, friends. And he just grudgingly opens the door. How far is of a drive? You said 10 minutes?
Not even. From the one side of this town to the other side is probably 20 minutes.
Is there... Okay, so as I'm driving, can I be aware of like any change in the weather or something that's happening while I'm driving over?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be any distinctive change. It seems like the whole town, it has this sort of fog over it. Mark and Isaac, you are still using your hands to sort of follow these footprints as you hear the sound of the Impala pulling up. Beyond that, you hear a voice calling to you. Isaac, you recognize this person as Reese Cooper, the neighbor to Jolene, and she just says, Isaac, is that you?
Yes, Miss Cooper. Just taking a look at some stuff back here.
Oh, I was worried that someone was breaking in.
Oh no, we're stopping by to pick up some of the personal items for Jolene for the funeral coming up. So,
sad.
Yeah, it's really heartbreaking. We're all deeply saddened by what happened.
Yes, I made her a casserole.
I
was that
I know that.
I'm sorry, was that the chicken and ranch casserole?
Yes, the chicken and ranch casserole. I use the buttered noodles, the ones that are slightly curved.
I could tell. Yeah, no, those were, yeah.
As Mark is striking up the conversation, I just move his hands so that they're not visible to Reese.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. No, those. Yeah. No, you did great.
Are they outside or inside?
They are outside. They're kind of on the front side of the house, having this conversation.
Actually, Miss Cooper, I did hear that you were the one to discover Jolene. I'm sure that must have been a horrible sight.
Yes, it was quite terrible. I didn't expect it. I mean, obviously, no one expects to find a corpse, especially one of your neighbor.
Was there... Well, I suppose the entire situation would have been bizarre, but was there anything else unusual about anything you had seen?
Well, walking into the house, I did stumble literally upon my dear neighbor, but it was very wet. They said she had drowned, which is very uncommon for a ship captain, especially in her living room. It was very odd. I was going to come talk to her because I was going to have her look into another incident. I know she was going to take over the lighthouse. And as you know, Miss Erin Wright, the woman who currently is running, the older lady, she turns to Mark and starts explaining because Mark doesn't know who this is. You know that Mrs. Cooper tends to go on. And she said, oh, yes, as you know, Erin Wright, the older lady, Mrs. Wright, owns the lighthouse and has been operating it. She operated it with her husband for 40 years. And then after he passed, she took on the responsibility. But she is getting on in age, and it's hard for her to walk up the steps to the top of the lighthouse. And of course, Miss Jolene was going to take over. And I was going to ask because I didn't see Mrs. Wright at the fish fry on Friday, which I normally do. She is there every
sees all this and knows who she is and purposely really slows down before reaching Mark and Isaac.
And of course, Mrs. Wright always goes to the fish fry on Friday, and she didn't. So on Saturday, I had packed her a plate because I thought maybe she wasn't feeling well. Saturday, I went over to check out and see if I could offer her the fish fry and check on her and see how she was doing. And she was acting very odd. So I just wanted to see if Jolene could go over and check on her. I don't know Mrs. Wright very well. I mean, I know her as well as I know everybody in this town, but...
you said she was acting strangely. What if you don't, I don't mean to pry or be a gossip.
Oh, of course not, honey. It's fine. You know, I don't get to talk to many people that often. She does. She really does. She talks.
Yes, she
to
absolutely
everybody.
does.
Mhm.
And Deke knows this, which is why he's really taking his time to get there.
You can hear her as you're walking out.
As I'm walking really slowly.
Well, of course, I went up to the house. You know, there is, she motions to Mark, there is the lighthouse house, and then there is the lighthouse. And the lighthouse house, which is where she is, I walked up and I knocked on the door. And it was later. The sun had was going down or had set at that time, about the time she would have gone.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to snap my fingers and I'm going to cast magic.
Oh, God.
To put her to sleep.
Don't do that. That's so mean.
I just, or maybe not to sleep, but like in a trance, just kind of in a trance, and just be like, highlight reel, important bits.
Okay.
No,
Roll plus weird, please.
that's a 10.
Okay.
As he's snapping his fingers, I see that, and I just give him the eyes.
Which eyes?
The fuck me eyes, or
No.
no, the other eyes.
The I know what you just did eyes.
You snap your fingers and you see Mrs. Cooper kind of like stop, and her eyes sort of fixate past you all. And she begins to speak in a more concise manner. She says, "When I approached the door, it was very dark. And as Mrs. Wright opened it, I could only see her silhouette as the light behind her was the only light shining in, and she seemed to be more wobbly on her feet than usual. Her demeanor, her voice, was a bit off. She didn't sound sick. She just seemed not herself. And as I offered her the fish, she took it, and when the plate left my hand and entered into hers, my hand came away very wet. It was an odd experience. And she did not give me any small talk, closed the door, and I was on my way."
I'm gonna snap back and be like, thank you so much for sharing that. Oh my God, did you leave something on the stove? We don't want that to burn.
My parfaits!
I turn to Mark and go, "You need to teach me that."
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be honest with you. One of the first things I learned to do was actually that, because people talk too much, man.
Specifically her. That lady just has way
She's
too
great.
much time on her hands.
She's a sweethart.
She's a
Don't get me
lovely
wrong.
lady. I mean, you have to
I-
try her parfaits. Did she tell you about her parfaits?
She just won't shut up about them.
Well, that was the fewest words I've ever heard that lady speak in my
Yeah,
life.
no. Yeah.
Oh, no. I think she was worried about the parfaits.
Right. Okay.
No.
This is
It's
Normal.
Mark, it's a mentalist trick.
Yeah, illusionist.
right.
That's all it is. That's all
That's
it
what
was.
it is. And then you
You
just
freaked
hold
her
back up your
mind.
lens to keep looking around.
That's all it was. Also,
as he's doing that, I'm like, "What are you doing? Are you taking a picture or something?" Like,
yeah, just look through the finger lens and I'll show them the
I
steps.
squint my eyes like through the lens. I'm like, "Bro, what the heck? What is
I
this?"
know, right? That's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, hold on. So Mrs. Wright, and he's averting his eyes from the lens again. So hold on. Mrs. Wright had an interaction with Reese where she took the fish fry and Reese's hand was super wet. She was very quiet, not a lot of small talk. Do we have to go and talk to her now? I don't know how this works. I don't know what to
No.
expect. I don't.
Oh, hey.
No, relax.
Neither do I. Okay. So we're gonna
Just relax. First and foremost, what did you guys? I came into like parfaits. All right, so let's catch me up.
Yeah, you came into the trail and honestly you kind of caught the gist of it. So
What did you find inside? Did you see anything inside?
Oh yeah, come here as I'm guiding you with the lens.
I'm just gonna look through the lens like, oh, wow.
It's what I'm saying, okay? Like that toe should not be angled that way. That's
No, that is definitely not. Oh,
yeah,
that's
so
That's not gonna. Yeah, we're not gonna sleep tonight. Anyways,
There's a lot happening.
there is. So my he kind of pauses because like he kind of feels a little sick after seeing the toe, and nothing really bothers Deke very much, but like toes is just out of the question. So he goes ahead and informs the group of the findings that happened with his brother Emmanuel and lets them know this is kind of what happened. There seems to be a monster that has claws that makes people smile, but I say it in a way where Isaac doesn't feel too bothered from it, but Mark understands what I'm saying. To try to be sensitive around Isaac.
I think Mark understands what you're trying to do, but Mark's candor just doesn't allow him to tiptoe around it. He's like, oh, okay, tickle monsters, like being tickled to death, right?
Yeah.
Tickle monster? That's a
No,
thing?
No.
I mean,
It's not tickle me Elmo, you know.
No, it's worse. Like, it'll tickle your insides out. It's
I don't know. Tickle me Elmos are a little intense.
Yeah.
He's like, no, it's a whole thing. No, back in North Dakota, when I was doing some. First of all, don't go to North Dakota in the wintertime. But
I've been there. It sucks in the wintertime.
So I was stuck there. Long story short, it was an app. It was a big Yeti, and
oh, you were there for that one?
I got the tail end of it, tickling people to death, but really was just kind of squeezing them like a
kind of more of a hug than a tickle.
And
It wasn't really,
As this conversation is happening, Isaac, you have a move called Oops. As they're talking, and you are trying to like process what the hell is going on and trying not to process what the hell is going on. You're kind of looking around and you see something shining on the ground. You bend down to pick it up, and it is a fairly old-fashioned style key.
Question. The house that the lighthouse is next to, how old is it?
Very.
Guys, I think we have... hi, sorry to interrupt the bonding experience here.
Showing him a scar. I'm like, yeah. No, oh, what?
Hi. Yeah.
I'm like comparing scars now. Like, see this one.
Yeah, this was an X.
Great.
That makes sense.
Yeah, this one, bookshelf. Anyway, found this. What? You've never put together a bookshelf? Surprisingly, very unsafe to do by yourself.
It became sentient.
No, it just fell on me.
Oh.
Anyway, I found this key. This was just a couple feet that way, possibly a key to the house next to the lighthouse.
Okay. Okay.
And the thing is, I don't want to go near the lighthouse.
Yeah, don't
Wait. I know that house. The one next to the lighthouse.
Yeah.
That house.
I'm gonna look at Deke like, the fuck was that, dude? Yeah, you just said that.
No. That house. It has history, man. Damn it. Where's my brother when you need him? He's the historian in this place.
Yeah, we've actually bonded over coffee once or twice. That was actually kind of. The lighthouse. He's more looking at Mark because he's only been here for a couple months. Things can be weird near it, and I don't want to go to the weird that is sometimes near it, if at all possible.
I'm gonna clasp a hand on your shoulder, like, Isaac, I get it, but you're in the weird now, so it's not gonna get any unweirder.
I look
by
to Mark.
not going.
That's true. Okay. So you guys have had experience in this sort of thing. So
I haven't. I stay away from coastal towns because I don't like the water personally.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna look a little bit more towards Deke, I guess. Humanoid hair.
Humanoid hair.
Yes, hair. And I just pull out the long strand of hair.
I do a little at the squelch as you straighten it.
I kind of
didn't do that. It didn't make that sound last time you showed me.
It's unpleasant knowing that I had this in my pocket. Okay, let's just push past it.
Why?
I go into the
because
kitchen.
I thought it might be important. Maybe you might need it.
No,
for
you're
some...
fine. You're fine.
Okay. Humanoid hair.
Okay. Humanoid hair. Okay.
Lots of salt water and salt deposits.
Salt water and salt deposits. Okay.
Drowning one victim in a targeted attack. And
right.
Tickling another to death, it seems.
What do you mean targeted? How do you know this?
Just based on This thing is intelligent. Person?
You hear from the kitchen.
It's because of the way the feet came in through the back
Oh my
door.
God.
It
Why
feels
are you
like
in her
they knew
kitchen?
how to get in here. Hey, you want anything?
Yeah. Do they have bananas?
Yeah, hold up.
Just hand through the doorway, banana directly at you.
Catches it.
Every crime novel says to never mess with a crime scene. What is wrong with
We're
the two of
not messing with this crime scene. We're getting a snack.
Yeah, the crime scene's actually where you're standing. Nothing happened in the kitchen, so I'm technically doing better than you. You're probably
It's
stepping on
fine.
a ghost.
It's fine. It's fine, Isaac. It's fine. I just put my hand on him, just firm, grasply on his shoulder. I'm like, it's fine. It's okay.
Listen, no, we're totally fine, but we need to go to the lighthouse. I just pointed at him.
Anyways, the lighthouse has a lot of history. There's a lot of things that happen around the lighthouse, so that makes total sense.
Right. And don't forget,
Okay.
now, Isaac, and this is out of character, you saw the vision that I saw, right? You saw the ending of it, which was the bow and the arrow
Yes.
type thing. Okay. I'll be like, listen, I don't know if you guys remember. Sorry, I got food in my mouth. I don't know if you remember when we were at the bookstore here, but that thing with the bow and arrow. So I had a vision. Normally I don't talk
What
about
bow and
my-
arrow? I wasn't there for the bow and arrow. I
You
saw a
came in-
glowy thing.
Okay, so you saw the glowy thing. So I had a whole thing with a bow and arrow. It was very, very like Artemis. And but we were in the we were by the lighthouse. There was fog, and somebody was in the water that I was trying to help.
Uh-huh.
You
Okay.
had a vision?
Yeah, it's kind of a premonition.
Premonition.
Yeah, it just kind of depends.
What do you mean
And?
depends?
It just
There is a difference.
No, you're right. Less of a this is solidified in stone type of thing, and more of a potential future.
A potential future.
Yeah.
You could just see that. That's cool.
No, well,
Okay.
we'll explain it to you later, Isaac. Hold on.
Oh, it's all good. Just
Mark-
go ahead.
Mark,
with
I'm a little bit more interested in your vision or whatever you want to call it, premonition here, because that's really important to know that.
Yeah, but it doesn't happen all the time. Okay, like
if you
look.
were to give it a percentage,
look, 70% of the time it happens all the time. Okay, but
That movie hasn't come out yet. I didn't.
okay, so long story short, gentlemen, I ran away from home at a young age. There was a whole prophecy around me. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know what the prophecy was. I didn't really care for it, and I've been running pretty much my whole life to get away from it. I'm a little bit over it.
Did you do you know anything more? I mean, we'll talk about it over apple pie later.
yeah.
Later,
All right,
because
let's-
I have so many other questions.
Let's
That's
go to
not
the
really
lighthouse.
important right now.
No, this
is-
seems like the biggest inconvenience to me right now that I'd rather take care of. So
It's an inconvenience for the town, yes, for sure. So
well, hold on. What else happened in this vision? Apparently, that you saw.
I had a golden bow and a golden arrow, and I aimed it at a person, a creature, something, and I was trying to take aim at it.
A golden bow and
No.
arrow.
was there anything else in this vision that we should know about?
You were standing there, and I could see like a light looming overhead, which I can only imagine was the lighthouse. Again, dense fog. And
I
that's-
was standing there.
Yeah, I mean, now knowing who it was, yeah, at first it was just some dude that looked like a douchebag in a leather jacket, but meeting you now, it was you.
Well, somebody's got to be the handsome.
It was the lighting. It was the lighting.
It was totally the lighting. Anyways, we need to go to the lighthouse.
Thank you so much for joining us for the second episode of Nonverbal Communications. Join us for the final episode where our hunters will face this supernatural being in an attempt to save their town. Will they be able to remove this blight, or will they drown under the pressure? If you enjoy our shows, please leave us a like or a comment to let us know what you think. And as always, hack recklessly.